Hello everybody, welcome to another video on the channel, and today we are going to take a look at a couple of daily race C's that I did. This week's race, as you're about to see on the screen, is Group 4 at Interlagos. We have 11 laps, fuel consumption at times 3, tyre wear at times 11, and the choice of only the racing hard tyre for this one. So if you'd seen my strategy guide for this one on the channel, you'll know that this one is a no-stopper. And the car of choice for most people in the race anyway is the Renault Megane Trophy, because it's so good on tyre wear and sort of definitely comes to life towards the last few laps when that tyre wear starts to really come into play. Other popular cars are the car that is starting just in front of me in this one in P7, the Alfa Romeo 4C, and the Taios at 86. Both for the same reason as the Megane Trophy. Light cars, so good on tyre wear towards the end of the race. But as you can see from the title, we are going to take the fight to the Meganes in something different. And in both the races that we're going to take a look at, we are going to be in the McLaren 650S. This is a car that at the time of these videos I had my fastest qualifying lap in. For some reason when I do sort of the daily race, I don't like to choose the car that seems to be the meta, if you like. I like to try and take something different out and try and have a bit of fun that way. So race gets started. We take it nice and easy into turn 1, no point rear-ending somebody there. Easy to do, people get a little bit too excited as the race kicks off. But on this occasion everybody gets through the first few corners without an issue, but me watch Fish goes wide into turn 4 as it is on the track, and we get a run down towards the long right-hander. We're on the outside, we just about get enough space, and as we get to the hairpin we've got the move done and we sort of tuck in behind the 6th place car, which is a Renault Megane. So one position made up in the opening lap, things are off to quite a good start. As we come into the corner here, a little bit of a concertina effect, serial killer 023, kind of just stops at the apex. I sort of tap the back of him and then take a hit up the rear, and we get a little bit of a pinball effect and we lose that position that we'd earned at the beginning of the lap. So back down to 8th place as we come out the last corner onto the main straight. So this race, a feature of this race is that popular cars, the Megane Trophy and the Alfa 4C etc, are very slow in a straight line. So if you're in something like the 650S McLaren, it's easy to get in the slipstream and get a run down this long drag towards turn 1 and get the move done. We go side by side with the Alfa Romeo, give space at the second part of the Senna S. Use all the track, but once again we've got the job done and we're back up to 7th place. But a little bit of a gap has opened up to the car in front of us, so we're going to jump forward a little bit. We've closed that gap down. We're coming towards the last corner of lap 2, and we're going to be firmly in the slipstream of the Megane in front. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the Spanish driver does there, but gets it all sorts of wrong. Gets it sideways, and that makes the job all the more easy for us just to get by on the drag down towards turn 1, and we are up into 6th place now. So jumping forward to the end of lap 4, and it's a very similar story. We've caught the cars in front, we're in the slipstream, we have a lot more power down the straight. That's an Alfa 4C that's in front of us. Is in the slipstream of, I think that's either a Lancer Evo or a Subaru WRX in front. In the slipstream, Alfa Romeo goes defensive. Take it nice and easy in, get them put offline. As we come through the second part of the Senna S, we're going to come out with a lot more speed. We've got the slipstream, we've got a better line, we're going to get it overlap down towards turn 4, and we're going to move up to 5th place here if we can get our braking right. Alfa Romeo tries to fight it around the outside, gives us the room, we give them the room on the outside, but as the track curves to the left here, superior straight line speed, and we're up into 5th place. Still got the close attention of the two cars behind us, but nobody does anything silly. Keep a nice tight line, and we go slightly defensive into the hairpin here because it's a sort of known dive position, but that's us up into 5th place. And end of lap 5, it's a Mitsubishi Evo in front of us. It's always going to start struggling come the midpoint of the race. A 4-wheel drive car wears its front tyres out, so gets a good drive off the final corner, so it takes us a long time in the slipstream to catch up and get alongside, but we're well in the slipstream now. He's going to go defensive. Later on the brakes, actually get it a little bit wrong. We have to give the room on the second part of Senna S. We get a little bit of a boost from behind, maybe a little bit naughty moving into the path of the car behind us, but nothing intentional there. That gives us a boost then onto this straight here. Where Swiss driver wants to get a little bit antsy about it, that's fine. If he wants to be like that, then we will do that to them. I try to always drive cleanly, but if people want to be act like that, then I'm more than willing to give them a little tap off the track and let them know, make my feelings clear. We pick up a 1 second track penalty because we actually went wide on turn 4. But the two cars in front of us have also got penalties, and at this point I just wanted to get away from that Swiss driver behind us because he clearly had a little bit of an issue with us overtaking him. Didn't want to get revenge punted, but we've served the penalty, as have the two cars in front of us. We've escaped the clutches of the angry Swiss in the Lancer Evo. It's now lap 9. We're up to 6th position. Started at 8th, so race is going well, and we've got two cars right in front of us. So the Alpha misses his braking point there into turn 4, taps the Spaniard in the Megane a little bit. He tries to do the right thing by waiting up to let him rejoin the track, but all he does is brake right in front of me. We give them a little tap, they go off the track. All accidental, but we are the beneficiary of a position, so up into 5th place we are now. And we have a Megane right in front of us that we seem to have a little bit of an edge over pace-wise, but we are coming to the laps where the Meganes tend to come into their own as that tyre wear starts to kick in for every car, but to a lesser extent with the Meganes. So approaching the last corner here of lap 9, we're going to be well in the slipstream of this Renault Megane in front of us. They get it a little bit wrong, go a little bit sideways. We got on the power nicely. The Megane does get a nice drive out that corner. That's something I've noticed in this race. It might not be fast in a straight line, but it does accelerate quickly out the corners. But as the McLaren gets into its stride, it's going to be no contest really. We're going to be passed by the time we actually get to the end of the lap, and I'm going to be a couple of attempts clear by the time we come to the braking zone. We cut the Megane's route off into turn 1 just in case they decide to go for a dive, and we are up into 4th place. So not a bad result. 4th would be a pretty decent result from 8th on the grid, and that's how this race is going to finish. Spaniard keeps us interested for the remainder of the race, but not got the power to get past us. We keep it nice and tight, don't make any mistakes, and it's going to be a 4th place finish for this one. There we go, 4 positions made up, handshake from the engineer. Not a bad job, I guess. Moving on to race 2, you see there on the screen, a field of Meganes. We're starting 7th place in this one. Again, we're in the McLaren 650S. So the driver in front of us is our Swiss friend from the previous race. Now this wasn't the race immediately after, I don't think. But I don't think it was too long after it. So I wasn't sure what kind of a reaction I was going to get from the Swiss driver in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo in this one. So I'm always willing to forgive the next race when somebody's done something to me. I don't like to carry on a grudge, but not everyone operates that way. I'm well aware of that. However, I was going to exhibit some caution with the driver in front of me. Not really entirely sure what his issue was with me in the previous race, why he decided to try and bump me off the track when I went for the overtake. Maybe thought I was responsible for something, I'm not entirely sure. But again, we took it nice and easy into the opening of this one, as does everybody else. As we come to the sort of tight section for the first time, the Swiss driver, I'm guessing, either thinks I'm going to try and make a ambitious dive and goes very defensive, but in the process actually cuts the corner and picks up a 1 second penalty. So that was good news for me. That meant I didn't have to risk making an overtake in the early stages. I'll just hold on until we get to the penalty zone here, let them serve their penalty, and that was us past the Swiss driver that I thought might be an issue for us. However, that driver's now sitting behind us, so I wasn't entirely comfortable in this position either. I would much prefer to get a car between me and that driver. So similar story as we've seen so often in the previous race. 650S, Renault Megane in front. It's even there in the slipstream, it tends to be no contest down the straight. We've got a good slipstream. It's serial killer from the previous race. He goes defensive. We go side by side into the first part of the Senna S. We try to hang it round. We've got the car in the right position. Go side by side through the second part. We give a little bit of space on the exit. And it looks like we've got the job done here. We are ahead. We've got in the slipstream of the car in front, and we should be able to use the McLaren's power. But we know what's about to happen here. We're looking at the radar, we hit the brakes, the Megane goes for it. Makes contact with us. It's not a clean move. I don't think the move was ever on. They were nowhere near in position to make it, but we knew it was coming, so we were able to kind of compensate for it. That puts us in all sorts of trouble. We've got an angry mob behind us, 3 cars filling up our radar screen. So we managed to keep it nice and tight, hold the racing line, and keep those cars at bay. And we're back in position behind Serial Killer to get a run at him at the end of lap 3, start of lap 4. So given that Serial Killer was willing to show us no kindness in the last move, we are going to go into this move here with the same attitude, but that driver's not got the slipstream this time, so we managed to get past him much earlier down the straight, and just in case they had any intentions of throwing it back up the inside, we put our car there and tell them there is no room at the end. So that's that move done. So it actually took us till lap 6 to catch the group in front once we were past Serial Killer. Up into 5th position now. That is the lead group there. That's 4 cars, all in a very tight group. We are less than a second off the lead. I think it's 3 Renault Meganes and 1 Alfa Romeo, so the 3 meta cars for the race. We're still in the McLaren, and we're going to make life very uncomfortable for them, or as much as we can anyway. So everybody's squabbling like cats and dogs here. I'm just trying to not do anything silly, just keep it nice and neat and tidy, look after my tyres. I know once we get to the main straight, that's where I have got the advantage with the power. So into the last corner we come. We get a nice exit, firmly in that slipstream, and we may actually be able to get the overtake done on more than 1 car here. So the Alfa Romeo actually goes looking for a slipstream, so he goes wide and gives us the room on the inside as the course curves to the left. We've got a massive amount of overspeed on the, I think that's a Russian driver and the Spanish driver in front of us, Popomatic. Knew we couldn't get the move done on them, but we get the double overtake done down the main straight, and that's us up into 3rd place. And as we come out turn 3, the curve, we actually had a little bit of a run on the Spaniard, but suffered a little bit of understeer, and so we're not going to be in a position to make a move into turn 4. So our sure nose, see if we can try and scare them into doing something silly in the braking zone. The Spanish driver holds their nerve at this time. Got the close attention of the Russian behind us in the Megane. But familiar story, on the long drag from the last turn to turn 1, Renault Megane just cannot compete with the McLaren, even in a slipstream. Spaniard doesn't try to fight it too hard. Go side by side into the first part of the S, but we've got the move done as we get to the second part, and we are up into second place. And can we get the victory in this one? So we'll jump forward here again. It's the long drag from the last turn down to turn 1. Long way away from the Renault Megane front office here, but we are in the slipstream. You can just see that gap closing down massively. And we actually brake, we've got a lot of overspeed. We actually brake nice and early here, but we get caught out by just how early the Megane brakes. We have to move the car, junk it to the right there to avoid a collision. It was the right thing to do. The Frenchman in front had done nothing wrong. If we tried to carry on our own line, we end up punting them, possibly costing them the race. So we take evasive action. That does cost us a position to the Spaniard, but we sort of filter back in and see if we can get the move done on the next lap. But we are now starting to struggle with the tyres in the McLaren. We've been fighting quite hard on this one in the early stages. And this is where the Renault Megane's kind of superior tyres stand in good stead. But Popomatic picks up a half-second penalty, and we jump forward to when they serve that penalty. We're now on the last lap. We're up into second place again. So we're suffering with the tyres here. The Megane's going to have much better tyres for the remainder of this lap. So we're going to have to get defensive into the tight twisty section. Megane able to brake a lot later into these 3 hairpins that we're about to go round, so we try to keep it as tight as possible. If we're going to get past us at this section, make them go the long way round. I wasn't sort of too afraid of Popomatic doing anything too silly. We'd raced them for majority of the race very cleanly and tidily, respectfully, so I knew as long as I could just keep the car on the racing line, hit my braking points, hit apexes, we should be able to hold on to second place. And even at this point here, after they'd gone for a dive and into the last corner, on the drag from here down to the finish line, we overtake them. So this one is going to finish in a second place. Not a bad result since we started in 7th. I do feel we could have got the victory if it hadn't been for having to take that avoided action on the Frenchman. But on this occasion we have certainly mixed it with the Meganes, and we've given a few of them a bloody nose. Maybe overselling it a little bit, but there we go, second place, 1.6 seconds off the leader. As I said, from 7th place, up 5 positions. Good clean racing with the drivers I was mixing it up with, which is good to see. And we get the clean race bonus as well. We were actually the number 1 car in that one, but second place is not a bad position, as I said. So I've had a lot of fun in this week's daily race C. Most races been really good clean, to be honest with you, but it's not all been plain sailing. There's been a few of them that have turned out into absolute crapshoots. Terrible driving from other people, myself included. I've been getting a little bit angry at drivers doing stupid things in front of me or to me. Occasionally go and take revenge. This is just one of these occasions on screen here. This Greek driver I've had a run in with in the previous race, and then just started doing stupid things in front of me. I just decided I was going to try and take him out. Unfortunately, I also got that French driver, Zefix Dorfra, involved in it. He didn't take too kindly to it, so he's going to ram me off the track here. You know, I was only trying to take the Greek driver out that had annoyed me. I'd seen him, he's been a menace in every single race I've been in just about. I'm not sure if he's dirty or just unbelievably aggressive, but on this occasion we caused a bit of a calamity into turn 4 there. Frenchman picks up a penalty. Two drivers in front of me go wide, I go up the inside here, but the Frenchman's going to have none of that. He has decided all he wants to do is ruin my race. As we come to the second hairpin here, we're going to get torpedoed and spun round. So, yeah, as I said, not every race has gone to plan, but the majority of them I have enjoyed and they have been good. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like what I'm doing with the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye now.